No directions were found in the making of today's episode.
Welcome back to No Ginger. I'm Samar.
I'm Ash, and once again, I don't know if the demand was popular, but by a form of demand, we have our game master.
Your name.
Do I say my own? Okay, yes. Toffee. It's Toffee. Okay, at this point.
You should know your own name at this point.
See, actually, that's my concern, is that I'm not sure he knows. He has to think about it.
Hey, guys.
He's like checking his name on the schedule just to make sure that's right.
Did you miss being here?
Yes.
Really delayed reaction.
Yes. It's always fun to do these.
You become a celebrity.
Have I though? Have I? Because I don't feel like my socials are being pushed in these episodes.
Okay, how about next time we'll give you a moment.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to
plug your socials right now?
Not really, no. It's fine.
Don't complain then. Oh my gosh, it's like crazy.
What I'm saying is I'm not getting stopped on the streets of Shinjuku just yet.
Yeah, well, me neither.
I don't know if you want to live
and I don't think
life.
I want that. I just don't think I want that to happen. I might start avoiding Shinjuku just in case.
Yeah.
Shibuya, no go. All right, let's get into it. Samar, what is your no ginger this week?
Okay, my no ginger this week has to do with everyone's favorite place in the world.
Obviously, that's Japan.
Disney.
Oh. I was like, what would this be?
Where are we going?
Everyone's favorite place in the world, in Japan. It's
the happiest place.
The happiest place on Earth. Disney. I had to go for a dear friend's birthday. It was all she wanted. We went together.
I was there.
He was there.
So do you know what this is?
I'm not sure where she's going to go.
Well, she went to Disney. I'm sorry. Okay,
So the thing about Disney that I realized for people in Japan is it's like traveling, but you went nowhere. But it feels like you went to a foreign place.
Okay.
Right? No. And then it also feels like humans are the dumbest creatures on Earth because they have the safest, most comfortable time ever in human history. And they have decided to create contraptions to scare the shit out of themselves and to simulate like crashing into things for fun.
Are you talking about bumper cars?
No, I love bumper cars. I'm talking about the stupid Star Wars ride
that
sent me flying all over the fucking place and had me crashing through intergalactic chaos for no reason, and it almost made me throw up.
What is this ride?
It's quite a sick ride.
Suddenly, I take back what I said. I may need to go.
This is why humans are stupid.
No, I listen. I love dramatic rides.
It wasn't that dramatic. I'm just weak.
Oh, so you're dramatic. Never mind.
He was on the ride as well, but it was like we had just finished eating, and then we went onto this intergalactic Star Wars like 3D stuff where like you ride this spaceship and like R2-D2 is driving you places. And he's crashing into stuff and trying not to get you shot. And the thing is shaking like this, like this. Imagine you just had lunch and you're going all over the place. And I'm just like, this is just, my ancestors did not suffer so that I could do this shit.
It was Samar's ancestors.
My ancestors wanted me to remain firmly on the ground.
It's a sick ride though.
In reality.
Wait, so is it the type of ride where like essentially it's not really the movement of the car that you're in, but it's more the visuals.
It's the visuals, yeah.
And the movement.
Like, I don't know how much we actually like physically that box that we were in actually moved around.
It was moving because my feet, I put them up.
Yeah.
Because I was getting very nauseous, so I wanted more stability. So I went up.
I've been on this is not even the same park or same country, but I remember going to Harry Potter World in Universal. And you can do like a ride through Hogwarts Castle, but even though the contraption that you're sat in doesn't do much more than like tilt a bit and it goes side to move you around the ride, you get a huge sensation of like being thrown places because the screens are everywhere and it just really messes with your mind.
That one also made me want to vomit.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that if you have any sort of like motion sickness, that kind of ride is like the worst possible thing you can get on.
That is so true, actually. That Star Wars ride was the worst thing you probably could have done. Yeah. And you did it.
I didn't know. I didn't know better.
You lose all sense of like where is the even line. Like you have no clue where the ground is anymore. Yeah.
So my Shouganai is humans are stupid and they want to feel fake
Her
danger.
Shouganai is that she has motion sickness.
Yes.
Not to hijack it, but
on the ground as human beings.
Anyway, I love roller coasters.
Then you should go to Fuji-Q. Don't bother with Disney.
I would definitely like to go to Fuji-Q Highland.
Someone take her, because I ain't going.
And boy.
All right. Ash, what is your no ginger?
It's not nearly as exciting as your no ginger. I feel a little bit of shame. Sorry.
Get on my Disney level.
But it does involve being in a moving car.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it's no, cars usually move. What do you mean?
That's terrifying. What?
What do you mean? The car went somewhere? Yes. My complaint, and it is Shouganai, is that every year, so I think Japan's weather every year just kind of gets progressively worse in some manner or another. But when the seasons suddenly change from, okay, you do not need to wear a coat to you definitely need to wear a coat, it's like a 2-day window.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless of when that window actually is, it's usually like October 1st, the train companies start blasting the heat on the trains. It does not matter what the weather is actually doing. They have just decided that October 1st or whatever date it is, and then exactly 6 months later, now it's AC. Yeah. Or it's cooling. So the temperature on the train is always going to be constant. You know exactly what it's going to be, but it doesn't make any sense to what's going on outside. So when you are bundled up and you have hurried to the station to get on your train and you're walking a little bit fast because the weather is quite brisk and it's chilly, and then you get on your train and you've warmed up now because you've done all this walking and you're also wearing like 7 layers of clothes, or at least I am because I hate the cold. You then get on this train that is like muggy with how hot and gross it is. You're on this train and it's disgusting. Now, I know neither of y'all have to ride trains.
Shout out to the Oda-Q. She really loves you.
This is not the Oda-Q. JR is the worst.
Oh.
JR and the heating. It's like I literally seek out the like weak air conditioning cars. Because the amount of heat, like if you're wearing heat tech, a sweater, a coat, a scarf, and you get on, you are going to start sweating because it's so hot. And you're also crammed in with all these people who are also generating heat. You know, humans are kind of warm. Yeah. Then you get off the train and you've been sweating. So now you are literally, your sweat is freezing. It's the worst.
Yeah, I hate that feeling of sweat becoming cold. Yes. It's so disgusting.
So anyway, all I would like to say is, if the trains could take note of the fact that it's going to be crowded and you just don't need that much, you don't need that strong of air conditioning. That would be really cool. Is that going to happen in my experience? No.
I mean, that they have AC in the first place on these Japanese trains, I am thankful for. So I can't complain.
Someone from London, if you know about the Central Line, you know. I'm not going to complain about any kind of aircon on trains. I love it so much.
With no trains. We don't have trains, cars only. But yes, y'all from train riding areas of the world.
Indeed.
I came to Japan, so I am really getting, I understand this, the best of what public transportation probably could be.
This is as good as it gets. Yes.
Thank you for confirming.
What a way to go. Did you see the news? London is one of the lines. Tokyo Metro is taking over.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's great. It's great. I think it's a good thing because I think the London transport system and Tokyo transport system is so similar. Like it kind of makes sense, and it's nice.
Does yours run smoothly? Because the MTA is trash.
Smoothly, yes. On time, almost never.
Okay, so that's not smooth.
I took smooth to mean without a problem in the ride itself.
I mean, what could the problem be? I mean, there are many
There's-
problems
yeah.
that could be, but timing is one of the most crucial ones.
Indeed,
No?
indeed. Well, yeah, it's always late. It's something I love about Japan.
I
Everything's on
always
time.
want the train to be like just 1 minute late.
I
Just
don't want
1
that.
minute. That's
No.
perfect.
No. No.
When all of the trains are just like 1 minute late, it's brilliant.
No. No.
It's you don't
Stay on
even
time.
you don't even ride trains.
I ride them to get here.
Yeah, but that's that aside. You drive in a perfectly air conditioned car.
It is not. The air conditioner is so weak in that car because it's so old. It takes like 20 minutes.
I'm always perfectly in there, no problems. Everything's good.
I am freezing in that car. Anyway, Toff, what is your no ginger?
Well, talking about. Okay, we're talking about nothing there. I'm about to say. So.
Cut.
Okay, well, my no ginger is my building management people.
That does sound pretty no gingery.
Yeah, so I moved house this year, and one thing that always annoyed me about the building that I live in is the stairs leading up to my door. There's like this like weird plaster stain that looks like sick. It's like that color, and I hate it so much. The first time I saw it, I thought somebody threw up outside, and I didn't think much of it. But then I realized it's like just a bad plastering job, and I realized that I'm gonna have to look at this every single day, at least twice a day, and I hated it so much. And I emailed my building company people, and they gave me a call. They were like, "Oh yeah, what's the problem? Send pictures," and I did everything, and then I get a call like maybe a week and a half later, and they're like, "Oh, we've just sent someone over to like sort out the problem. Take a look when you're home, whatever." I go home and it's exactly the same, and all they've done is just like wash the stairs. Like this is like a stain that's built into that's like embedded into the concrete. I'm like, and I called them and I was like, "Did you say that you did this?" Like I was like questioning my Japanese understanding. I was like, "Did you say you sorted this out?" Because it's exactly the same. They're like, yeah, no, we cleaned it, right? We cleaned it. I'm like, yeah, but it's like it's still there. And yeah, so they didn't do anything, and I had to like really like be quite pushy with them. And I can say that since this morning, sorted. No more sick stain. On my door.
You literally force your building management to manage their property.
Yes, yeah.
That is pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie, because a lot of times building management just does not actually manage their properties.
Yeah, and you pay the fee with your rent every month. I'm like,
So we learned the key here is persistence.
Yeah,
Be a nuisance like Toff.
But there's a lot of ways. Like we had some neighbor around here who throw back to episode 1. Who was not noisy, but did not know how to sort their trash. So there would always be like messages left on the trash drop that would say, like, "Hey, you have to sort this out. Like, we can't collect this," or whatever. But this person was clearly not going to do anything about it. And we're thinking, when is building management going to step in? Like, that's what they're there for. Like, they're supposed to do something. So Bamboo Boy Karen'd up.
Let's go.
Yeah.
My God.
Got on the phone, and the way that he was like, "Do you know what your job is? It is to manage this building."
Honestly, what am I paying for?
He was like, I pay 9,000 yen a month for you to do what? You don't even drive by. Just come and clean the trash.
Yeah.
And did it get fixed?
The trash was not fixed because Bamboo Boy does not have patience to wait for management. So he went and did it himself.
Every time?
No, I think he did it like 2 times before he finally like called again, and I think he was extra firm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much inappropriate Japanese was used, but I would say that someone may have gotten in trouble at work that day.
Yeah, the firmness is important. Yeah. That firmness,
and the persistence.
But like also don't include any extra detail. It's very much like only exactly what you need to know, and be really strict with it to get things done. Because otherwise they might be like, well, we don't actually have a clause that like we have to replaster the stairs. Like,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, right.
So now your apartment doesn't look like you had a bad Friday night every night.
Literally, anytime I bring like a colleague or a friend over, I'm like, by the way, this isn't sick. It looks like sick. This isn't sick. And I have to explain it to everyone, and I feel so uncomfortable.
Have you ever not explained it to someone, and then they're like, hey, Tav, what is this?
Yes. And they're like, it's like, they'll like come into like my apartment. They'll be like, yo, did someone like throw up outside? I have to be like, no, it's like this stain that's like on the stairs.
Like
I've never noticed.
Yeah, I'm glad you haven't noticed, but I notice it a lot.
I would be surprised if you noticed. I would, Samar, love you so much. I would be so surprised if you had noticed. Like if Tom started telling the story and you went, "What are you even talking about?" Or if you even started with, "Wait, you moved?" I would have lined up perfectly.
You moved.
My observational skills are not the best.
You have other strengths.
What are they?
Let's go to the next segment. Let's actually continue talking about your observational skills, shall we?
Okay.
All right. So I have an email for us today. It's a bit long,
Okay.
but not too crazy. Get ready for this one. Dear Samar and Ash.
Hi.
Hi.
Toff, you were not invited.
You're a surprise.
All right. I had a dream about sharing this story on your podcast. So here it is. Wait, Toff, is this from you?
What?
You've been dreaming about this podcast?
All right. Anyway, many people talk about how great Japanese public transportation is, and I agree. But people do not talk enough about their terrible signage. On a recent trip to Sapporo, I learned I should be counting my blessings in Tokyo. In Sapporo, I planned a trip to a small town museum just 2 trains and an hour away. With similar times and transfers to my regular commute, I was feeling confident, but Japanese signage and Google Maps laughed at my hubris. Is that how that's pronounced, by the way? I just
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
double check. Oh, shoot. First, the station entrance Google Maps directed me to was blocked by construction with no detour signs in sight.
Shibuya, every day of the
Right,
week.
exactly. After wandering for ages, I found another entrance, but I'd already missed my first train. No biggie, I thought I'd catch the next one. After catching that, then came the real chaos, the transfer. Despite my asking a staff member for help, I couldn't find any signs for my train. Turns out it was a JR train, while it wasn't indicated as being such on Google. I finally reached the right platform, only to realize I needed a reserved seat ticket, also not mentioned anywhere, and had already missed the second train. What should have been an hour-long trip took me almost 3 hours. I know that Japanese is a high-context language, but I just don't think that should be extended to signs. So is this bad signage a ginger situation, or was I just being too Tokyo-centric? Sincerely, disoriented on the densha.
It's no ginger, mate.
Yeah.
It's just give
Welcome
up.
to Tokyo.
No, it's not Tokyo. It's Sapporo.
Oh, Sapporo. Oh, God.
No, I feel
Welcome to
like-
Japan.
You know, I've really never had problems getting around Tokyo, but I feel like I have been in New York, and that was confusing.
New York.
No clue. What do you mean? Like the trains are labeled by letters
And numbers. We have
and numbers, but no
New York,
crossover.
okay,
but maybe
they do crossover.
I wouldn't know because I didn't understand what was going on.
So New
I gave
York,
up and got Uber.
You know, if you have the dollars, why not? New York can be confusing because the exits Google tells you to and the exits that exist do not match up all the time. So that
That can be true here.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same issue. And the trains will change. Like in Japan this never happens, but like say you're on an A train, it will just change its letter to become an E train. And you'll be on it expecting it to be an A train.
Yeah.
And it just decides it's now an E train. And now
Just
you
transforms.
Hold on, no, this reminds me of a crazy story from a friend who was like, okay, so we were all down in Yokohama, around Shin Yokohama for a concert because there's a like arena there. I forget the name of it. This friend starts like texting us, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so late, which was a huge problem because with these concerts, like if you don't enter at the right time, you can't enter late. There's no late admission. They're very strict. The doors open and they close at these times. So she's texting us being like, I don't know, but the train suddenly like changed to be bound for somewhere else. Like I got on at the right platform, but it's just not bound for the right place. So I'm going somewhere like but it just changed. I didn't know. So we're tracking her down being like, okay, where are you? What platform did you get on at? And blah, blah. Come to find out, homegirl was supposed to get on off of like platform 4 or whatever, got on platform 3. So it's just going the opposite direction. No. But she's like so convinced, like, no, the sign, like in the middle, it said bound for. And it's like, did you also look at the arrows that say which side you're supposed to go to? No. And on this one, I'm kind of like, yeah, if you don't know to look for these little tiny markers, these tiny distinctions that they make, and you're on a platform that's in the middle instead of when the trains go through the middle of the station, it can get a little tricky.
Yeah, but New York, there's no sign.
They just change randomly.
They will announce it. So if
like people just like rush off the train.
Yeah, you'll notice mostly if you have your headphones on when people start like getting off like in a panic. And that's your cue to listen to what the conductor is saying. But like for the life of me, if I were like not an English speaker, that would be so rough. Because they are also really hard to understand, like what they are yelling. Because the voices are also super muffled.
Yeah, it's here too.
Yeah.
These train announcers just like, and then
Yeah.
all you get at the end is just like, sorry. That's it. That's all you hear.
Yeah, everyone's also pissed off like that it's just suddenly changing and everything, and that's why everyone hates the MTA.
So that's crazy. Does that happen in London?
No, I like sudden stoppages and stuff like that. Like sometimes I guess, but like trains turning into other trains is not that much of a thing. Thomas is Thomas.
Special. Yeah, no. Yeah. Thomas is Fred. Is John. Is Michael.
But yeah, I know that exact feeling that you're just talking about. Like when you have your earphones in and then something happens and people start getting off the train. You're like, oh my god, what?
And you're like waiting for another announcement to come and then like one doesn't. You're just kind of, I'm always making eye contact with some like elderly person, like hoping that they somehow know what's going on.
Yeah.
They have their wits about them.
Because I feel like the elderly are more likely to go, I'm just going to keep seated on this train. It will eventually get where it's going. Yeah. And they're right. It will. I don't know when, but it will get there. And they're like, no, I'm good. I'm happy about this. And I'm like...
But I think for Japan, like the signage in general is very confusing because, well, if you don't understand the conductors and then you're just relying on signs, their signs don't always mean what you think they're going to mean.
That's true.
And you also there are so many lines that are running through Japan, like way more than New York City, I think. So like trying to find what train line you're looking for is such a headache. Like I remember coming to Ginza for the first time, like 4 years ago, and I was so angry because I could not exit the station.
Oh,
I just
hate that feeling so much.
Is a freaking maze. And not only that, it's connected to like 3 other stations.
Yeah.
So good luck.
I just kept I at one point started like cursing, like who in their right mind were they on mushrooms when they made this station? Like none of these. No, what is this going that way to this B to this C, and they don't exist, and I can't find them, and I'm just so angry. And the friend I was with was just like, stop being so angry. It's not anyone's fault. And I'm just like, I'm not angry at you. I'm just angry at whoever made this station.
I think, like, if you think about the Sobu line through the middle of Tokyo, there's Chuo Sobu, there's Sobu, but there's also Sobu Rapid. But that's not a rapid train on the Sobu line. That's a different train line. But it also has other names. It's also the Joban line. Or it's the Yokosuka line.
Yeah.
Or
it's like the Narita Express or whatever.
They'll run on the same off the same platform. So if you usually when they stop, they only show the Japanese. They don't show the English once the train has stopped.
It's
like
very
on the side. So it's actually really hard to. I haven't thought about it in a while because I've been here for a hot minute. Can usually read where I'm going. That's not 100% of the time because these kanji be crazy. But whenever I have friends visiting and I go, oh, can you meet me at here? The way they go, No, I can't. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, if you... Yeah, trying to find... Like, in New York, like, say you are lost underground, you just need to get above ground, and it's not that hard to find your way above ground. But in Tokyo, if
There's
you...
no grid system to help you out.
Yeah, if you get out, and, like, this happened to me, like, a few weeks ago. I went to Shibuya, but I went on the wrong side of Shibuya. And it was 30 minutes to get to the other side of Shibuya.
It's so huge. And there's I saw this post on Twitter not that long ago, and it drove me nuts. Somebody was like, in Japan, things like stopped escalators and elevators and construction, you don't see them for weeks. It gets handled right away. The Japanese are very efficient. And I was like,
liar!
Have you seen Shibuya? Let me introduce you to Shinjuku. Speaking of the Chuo line, there's one part of Shinjuku Station, the escalator, the up and down, have been shut down for weeks now.
Yeah.
They're just not going to fix it.
Yeah.
Because it's so busy. There's so many people that it's really hard for them to get construction done.
Well, I think they also always want to combine too many things.
That's true.
They love their little combo packs.
Yeah.
Like this mall and this train line, they need to go together. They're a pair, so then we can have a credit card package for them.
They do.
A point card as well. Like everything needs to be
I think
packaged
we should start
together.
taking a little bit more of the Chinese approach, where trains just go through buildings now.
Yeah.
Like we can just do that.
That might not be a bad idea.
So, dragging this back to the question at hand, which is, all right, I was in Sapporo and I was super lost. Was I just being too Tokyo-centric? I want to throw out that I think the signage in Osaka is actually way better than the signage in Tokyo.
I think Osaka, Fukuoka, all these smaller cities usually only have like 4 or 5 lines. They don't
There's gotta
have...
be more than that in Osaka. But they have like they also have a loop line, like Yamanote, but the loop line says very clearly which direction it's going.
Yeah.
Where on Google Maps or whatever for Yamanote line, it will just say go the counterclockwise direction, go clockwise, and you're like, I don't know which way that is. I know, like, what do you want me to do? Get, like, fly up in the sky and get an aerial view of this?
My God, sometimes Google is so funny. Like, what does that mean? Counterclockwise. Like,
and which way am I going? Yeah, I still to this day do not know which way is which.
I mean, we can't blame Google because Google just works with the information that is input into it.
Okay, so I'm gonna blame JR for telling Google counterclockwise.
Yes, I think so. But like, I think like even like the symbols they use on the signs don't mean what we think they mean. Like say like this sign, like the one, like this one.
Okay, so I'm gonna explain this. She's drawing a U-shaped arrow.
Yeah, so I sometimes think this is like go back, right? But this can also be like, it's not always to go back. Like sometimes it's like to
What
just
else would it
turn.
mean?
I don't know.
Just turn.
But
Sometimes. Okay, I get it. Like if you're going down to the bottom of the stairs, like let's say you're in a station, you're walking down the stairs. They'll have this upside down U, and you're not sure if that means turn around and like go back up the stairs, or if that means like walk backwards down the platform.
Yeah,
Like, that's not marked.
Yeah, it's they have like these vertical symbols that don't make any sense. Like you don't know which direction you're supposed to go to find whatever the thing you're supposed to find is.
I do think the arrows that just point straight down are the most confusing because you're
yes.
never sure if it's continue,
Yes.
turn around, or go down the stairs.
Yes.
yeah.
And it could, at any given place, it could mean any of them.
Yeah. So they like just bottom arrow, top arrow,
Just like,
left, right. I mean, left, right, you can't really confuse that, but like turn around, it looks like it should be turn around, but it's not necessarily turn around.
do a U-turn.
Like, yeah, like it go like make a U-turn and go where? Like which direction?
Just dive off the platform, jump.
I've
They
seen-
love people on the tracks. That's their favorite thing.
I've seen like diagonal signs, so that normally means go upstairs and no stairs. I'm like, where am I going? Where am I going? G? Where do you want me to go?
No, Spider-Man, crawl that wall.
Yeah.
Up you go.
Yeah. So like for Sapporo, I would guess like maybe so many people are local people. They just know where things are.
It's probably
they,
true.
Like
And
they don't
also
have to worry about it as much. But then that doesn't really excuse why Tokyo signs are so shitty.
So like around more local stations, and this even happens in the outskirts of Tokyo, a lot of the signs are literally just A4 pieces of paper that they taped to a phone, like a service pole. And it's like if you don't know to look for that, you're just never going to find it. Good luck. So I assuming that in Sapporo, like she said, I didn't see a single sign, but I'm guessing that it's because it was like an A4 piece of paper laminated and stuck to a pole somewhere. Because that's what they do.
Or, I mean, I guess...
if it was laminated, because it might also have just been faded.
It could also be like a generational thing. Like where older people are very happy and comfortable to ask for help. Whereas us younger dummies refuse to rely on anyone but our phones. And so we will not ask for help and just make circles and circles and circles.
I feel like even though when you do ask for help, like depending on how good your Japanese is, the help will be more or less helpful. Because even though the person might be really willing to give you an English explanation, it might have been done just not quite right enough, or their accent wasn't what you were expecting or whatever. And so it can lead to a lot of confusion. Or even in Japanese, they'll explain it in a way that makes sense to them, but it just doesn't make sense to you, even if you've understood each word.
But
so
I think you
asking
have to,
for directions is really...
Yeah, but I think you have to ask one, make it a little bit, and then ask the other one, and then continue on this cycle. Back like the olden days, they're still relying on this, maybe.
This happened to us not that long ago. We were standing across... The guy was looking for the train station. We were just coming back from Konbini.
The old man.
And this old guy starts yelling at us. Like, where is the station? Where's the station? But we couldn't hear very well. So Toff's going like, we're not going to the station.
Because I thought he was saying, he was just like, oh, guys, the station is that way. Just like, kind of get out of my town. I'm like, we're not going there. So we'll go. But he was asking us.
Where is it? And I realized after, like, and I told you, okay, so it's up and then turn left. Is like, that's the local station. He probably wanted the large station, which is a complete opposite directions, because that's what I wanted to know. And he said, no, where is the station? I'm like, there's two right here. I don't even know. Like, do you know which one? So the start of all problems is we don't actually know where we are. We just exist and hope it works out.
Yeah, because like old people are always asking for directions. Even like they found 3 foreigners in the middle of
I've literally
Kanagawa, and they asked us
on the train platform at my station and been asked which platform to go to by some random oji-san. He was just like, so here's my train, which platform is it? Like, it doesn't literally say Holmu-san, like right there or whatever. And you're like...
So I guess like that's why they don't really worry about the signs that much, because they have so many staff members in most stations. So
they're usually pretty friendly.
Yeah, and maybe also like the Japanese people themselves, they understand what those symbols mean, even if we don't understand what they mean.
If you've grown up looking at that, like that's going to be usual to you. So you would never realize that to the average Joe,
these symbols are not universal.
It doesn't actually make sense.
No. Yeah.
All right. I think I want to play a game.
Oh.
I don't know if I want to.
もしかして
deal with any more signs.
Let's play Are You Jouzu?
Pens are the ready. Pens poised.
Right.
This is what you came here for, Toff.
Okay. Well, I would like to start with a food question.
Why?
We like these.
I hate these.
I like these. You even got it right, the last one.
The last one.
I don't think
the last two you got right.
Yeah.
Always counting my blessings.
I don't think this is that hard, actually, to be honest.
All right, just say the question.
Well, then let me be Jouzu.
Question number 1. What are the names of the 2 main ingredients in a bowl of miso soup?
Wait, I feel that there are that 2 main...
All right.
I'm overthinking this one.
Yeah.
Wait, but
obviously you can put hella stuff in it.
Yeah.
But what are the 2 main ingredients that make up miso soup?
it depends what kind, though.
Okay, hold on.
I feel like there's 3.
Can I ask if
Okay, wait.
Water counts. This one,
If you would like to go with water as your option,
then should I take 3? Should I write down 3 answers? I need to know what we're doing with this.
Right. I wrote 3 options.
Yeah, I can't do 2. I'm sorry. I don't know. That's an illogical question.
Okay.
okay. Question number 2. What is the Japanese term for traditional wooden sandals, and why do they have a raised sole?
Oh, I'm blanking. I don't know why. I just keep thinking geisha.
You're right.
Well,
Is that what they're called?
Well, the sandals are not called
they did wear
geisha.
them.
Question number 4.
Yeah.
What is the most popular festival food in Japan?
Maybe.
Most popular
Yeah.
in all of Japan.
I'm gonna take a pretty solid guess, but I can think of a few
Mm.
that I think it might be.
Yeah, there's so many.
I actually don't know what the stats, like how they got the stats for
Yeah,
this
how-
question,
how-
but that's
We're just gonna we'll go by viewer votes.
Yeah.
Like if you strongly reject, we'll just lose our points or gain.
okay. Question number 4. What is the Japanese holiday celebrated on the 3rd Monday of July?
The one we don't get off.
Yeah, we
Okay.
don't. Wait, hold on. Which one is it? Shoot.
I knew this one would be a bit tricky.
There's only one in July though.
Right, but I can never remember which one it is. I'm like staring at the calendar right there as if it's going to help, as if it's not set to January.
You're already in the new year.
Yeah.
Okay. And question number 5. Which animal is famous for its smile and is often associated with good luck?
For its smile. Ah, okay. I got it.
One more time?
I got it.
Which animal is famous for its smile and is often associated with good luck? Wait, I don't want to confuse you guys on this question. It is an animal, but it's a
Is it a fictional animal?
it's a symbolic animal.
Does it exist in real life?
It does exist in real, but
Is it a
it's-
common animal?
all right. It's like it's like if I said like if the answer was elephant and I said the smiling elephant. It's that.
I'm taking my guesses.
I feel like that's like a massive hint, but it's like a smiling elephant exists, but specifically it's a smiling
we
elephant.
brought him in to be the master of games.
He's not mastering. Toffee, you need training.
I need some game master training.
A smiling animal. Can I have 2 options?
No.
Are you the game master?
Well,
No.
apparently I have to be because someone's not doing
No.
it.
Okay. Pens down.
I wanna
They're down.
mark.
Put your pen down. Right,
What are the names of the 2 main ingredients in a bowl of miso soup? Ashton.
miso,
Mm-hmm.
or like miso paste, and seaweed.
Interesting. Samar.
I'm not original. Same answer.
Same answer?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so I want you guys to think about this. So,
Is
Ashton,
it
you did.
actually miso and water?
All right, here's the thing.
You punch you. We're gonna punch you.
I'm going to lose my mind.
That doesn't. What?
Okay, here's the thing. This is just what based on research.
You want
It's
miso
not
and tofu?
not water.
Dashi?
Dashi. Is that true?
I guess it. Yeah.
What?
I mean, because I never make miso soup. Because if I make miso soup, I just get it out of a packet, right?
Yes.
I'm not
right?
going to waste
Yeah.
my time
Yeah.
trying to make it from scratch. But I do often make tonjiru. But I actually don't put dashi in it. But the base of tonjiru is essentially miso soup. You're just adding pork.
Right,
That's really all it is. But I don't add dashi because I don't think it adds anything to the flavor. But
So what are we
yeah,
saying?
I think a lot of people just add dashi powder. So in that case, I would say the water is still more important. personally.
Miso paste and dashi are the two key ingredients.
They
No,
are
that
the
makes sense.
two
I think
main ingredients
I do agree, though.
of miso
Actually,
soup.
I think if someone were asking me, like, if the question were worded as "What is the base of miso soup?" I would have said
So we get half a point.
You get half a point. Yeah, so you both said miso paste. Okay.
yes.
And I was
I love
stressing
my
about
half
if it was
points.
tofu.
Okay. Question number 2. What is the Japanese term for traditional wooden sandals, and why do they have a raised sole, Samar?
Was that the whole question?
Yes. I have 2 answers on here.
I didn't catch the last part.
That's because you're too busy thinking about geisha.
Yeah. Geta.
It's called geta. And would you like to freestyle the second part of that question?
Why does it have a raised so they don't get stuck in the dirt?
Okay. Ashton, how about you?
I wrote geta, and then I wrote mud, which it's because the roads weren't paved.
Yeah, you don't get
So-
stuck in the dirt.
Yeah, but there's a more specific reason. The roads were not paved, so you need to be above it, especially if you wear long clothing or traditional Japanese clothing.
I will give both of you the point. Well done. Good job.
That's the reason.
That is the reason, yeah.
So I wrote down geta and mud.
Yeah, it's like mud and like keeping your feet dry as well.
I didn't even hear the question.
Yeah, but you gotta know the answer.
Okay, question number 3. What is the most popular festival food in Japan? Ashton.
I want it to be takoyaki.
Okay. What do you think it is? Do you think it's takoyaki?
I do think it's takoyaki, but I'm torn between takoyaki and yakisoba. But
Same.
really,
Yeah, takoyaki, yakisoba. I don't like takoyaki that much, so I would.
I prefer to order
yeah,
yakisoba,
yakisoba,
but I do
yeah.
feel that the popularity of takoyaki is what's gonna push it. I don't know.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so your final answer is?
Takoyaki.
Takoyaki.
And some as well? Takoyaki? Well, the answer is takoyaki. Well done. Good job.
I really thought you
Hold
were
on,
going to
I'm-
go, well,
yeah.
the answer is yakisoba. And I was going to be like, just shoot me. I'm done.
I mean, that
I
would,
also prefer
I mean,
yakisoba.
yeah, I don't know why takoyaki is so popular. Like it just burns
It's just-
your mouth.
I think it's because it's like probably easier to eat.
Is it? It burns my mouth.
I actually really struggle with
yeah.
it.
I
But
forgot about that part.
I think it's kind of like takoyaki is one of those things that people genuinely train to be good at making.
yeah.
They get really specific about the shops and their specific flavor to their takoyaki and whatever, where yakisoba is just whatever. You can't buy yakisoba at the konbini. You can't buy takoyaki.
Okay, good job. That's a point for both of you. Question number 4.
Yeah.
What is the Japanese holiday celebrated on the 3rd Monday of July? Ashton. No,
don't know.
Samar. Samar.
Umi no hi.
Umi no hi. And
Is it-
Ashton.
I thought maybe it was Mountain Day, and I truly couldn't remember.
Do we have a mountain day?
There is a mountain day,
Yes,
yeah.
but I'm pretty sure it's during Golden Week, or is that a Silver Week one? I don't remember.
Okay, so we have Mountain Day and Umi no hi. One of these
What was
is right.
July, man?
I know, so that makes sense, but I couldn't think.
It's okay.
I literally was like mountains and what? What else do we have? As if there's not a whole classic
Yeah.
book,
French.
classic of mountains and seas.
The correct answer is Umi no hi.
Well done.
Sea Day,
I
Marine Day.
remember it because I'm always bitter I don't have it off.
That makes sense, but I feel pretty bitter about most of them.
Yeah, but this
Like
one
the
I
only
remember.
one we actually get off is
Golden Week. In July, right? I'm about to go home. And like all my friends are only off that weekend, but I'm not off. So I can't even like say goodbye that weekend.
Tragic.
Right?
What a first
Indeed.
world
I
problem.
can't enjoy it with you guys.
Aw.
Aw.
Oh,
Well, okay. Last question. A little bit of controversy in this one. A bit of anger towards the Game Master. I'll pretend that didn't happen.
thank you. That's so kind of you. Very generous.
I'll remind you.
Why
The-
would you do that?
The
He deserves it.
famous animal famous for its smile in Japanese culture.
Okay, well, considering it's not the Buddha, is it the fuku cat?
The fuku cat.
I know
Okay.
this is actually
Okay.
Chinese, but you know the cat that waves its paw.
The cat that waves its paw. Okay. Okay. Samar, what did you have?
I I'm in between answers.
All right. Well. Okay. Let's hear both of them, and then please decide on one.
All right. It's either that cat,
Mm-hmm.
but that cat is not always smiling.
Is it
But
not? I
no.
feel like it's always smiling.
Not always. Sometimes
It's
it
more
looks
like an eye smile situation, to
Yeah.
be fair. But
The only other animal that I can recall that does anything or brings good luck is the tanuki. So I wonder if it's the smiling tanuki. Because that
that a
one
thing?
is always smiling.
that's true.
But I don't know how much faith I have in Toff. So, is it like the stereotypical...
The smiling thing may have thrown people.
You see?
That's why I said don't get mad because it doesn't even. You can't trust
Wait,
him.
okay, but also okay. Samar, I want your final answer.
But what is the actual question?
I'd like you to decide on it.
Should I get it wrong together? Or should I separate from you?
You can do whatever you want.
It's not helpful.
I'm used to losing. It's okay.
No, but... All right. Just for originality's sake,
Okay.
I'm going to go with the tanuki.
The correct answer
It's a fucking cat. I know
is
it.
the fucking cat.
I hate you.
Okay, yeah, because I did. Okay, it's the we are talking about the maneki neko, that waving cat, the cat you've seen.
Is that what? Oh, it's actually
Yes.
called that. Okay, because it
Maneki
always
neko,
has
yeah.
the massive fuku kanji
Yes,
on it.
yes,
So that's
yes,
why I
yeah,
just
often,
have always
yeah.
called it the fuku cat.
Just say happy
Yeah.
cat. Just say it's always
no,
happy.
it's like a fortunate cat.
It doesn't smile, really.
If you always have good fortune, you would always be
it's
smiling.
often smiling. I am looking
No,
at
it's not always
pictures where
smiling.
it's not smiling.
yeah, but
To
it's
be
always
honest,
smizing.
No.
Yes.
Look at that.
but like this is like a really weird version of it. To be honest,
Okay, well, if you were really aware of Japan, if you were truly jouzu, you would have known.
and I just love that it was one of the options. Your options, and you went for the wrong one.
The way she was like, "Do you want to
I
fail
just
together?"
didn't. I just didn't want to have the same one as you.
Hey, that's why I could have copied your answer over here, but I didn't know.
You didn't know it. That's why you couldn't copy it.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
but you answered first. I could have lied.
I can see your.
Okay, and what's she gonna do about it?
I'm gonna report you.
So
Scores,
what
please.
Authority.
Scores
The one we have here for.
I have 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
from Ashton.
3.5.
Can
Oh,
I get
wow.
a quarter point for getting to Dashi first?
Or it's time
Ah, okay.
It's time.
for a tiebreaker question.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
my god!
mercy.
Oh, no.
I love these.
I know you love them, but I don't feel
haven't.
the same affection.
You have gotten his bonus questions. I have
one
not.
right.
Okay.
Toph, pick something that I would know.
Oh, do you know what?
Real test of friendship right here. Top, who do you like better? Choose your question accordingly.
Okay. I don't know if this is easy or hard.
Oh God.
God. I'll tell you what it is. Medium. Intermediate level.
On the theme of miso soup,
Oh God.
He loves thematic.
He loves
I love a theme.
food.
I love a theme.
Well, then it should be about trains.
When preparing traditional Japanese food,
Uh-huh.
what side should you place the miso soup on?
Can we answer?
Just
I think
don't,
this is easy.
Just don't drink. I actually don't know.
You do know.
How would I know?
I wouldn't have known this.
Hey, it's where it's always placed, no?
You're saying that like I eat that much teishoku, but I don't.
I love teishoku.
Well,
I
then
do the
that's
thing. I've never noticed this actually. I do love the teishoku. I'm gonna get you guys to say it at the same time, all right?
Uh-huh.
3, 2, 1.
Right.
Correct. What do we do now? Because that way I answer the time. I need
You
to-
pick another question.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay. All right.
She's a lefty and she still got it.
That's
Oh.
why I had to think about how I've crossed the.
Okay.
He's gonna hit us with a British question. Should we throw us right over here?
I mean, that would be the real tiebreaker.
Right.
In this episode, we spoke a lot about trains, and I mentioned a specific line that is famous for not having any kind of aircon on it. Do you guys remember what line that was? It's called the Central Line.
Okay.
What? Oh, wait, that's not the question. Because I literally said it in the episode. I thought you guys would know, but no one's listening.
No, we weren't paying attention. Actually, you were mad.
Yeah.
I was excited. Okay.
The question is, what color is that line?
Fudge, bro. The British Metro line.
I think it's blue.
Blue? Okay.
I also think it's blue.
Okay, well,
It's red then. I'm just going to go opposite.
because we need someone to win, guys.
I'm going for
I
red.
can't keep doing this.
Wait.
Red,
Purple.
purple. Okay. Congratulations, Ashton. Well done.
Nice.
It is red. Yeah, it's red. Yeah.
The way that you were like, when we both said blue, Toff's face was like,
I have to think
what do I do?
I have to think of another question. Regardless, I will have to think of another question.
Okay.
It's red.
It's red. Yeah.
Is there a purple line?
There is the Elizabeth line. It's
Oh,
purple.
that's the one that Tokyo Metro took.
Yes.
When you say it took it, like it's now in charge?
Yeah, it's running
like
that
it
line.
owns it.
That's
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. All right. And today, when I have been ginger, I would like have been ginger. No, I have been Jozu.
You have been Joseph.
Let me
You
try this one more
won.
time.
Congratulations.
On this episode of Ash being Jozu, this has been No Ginger. Our podcast is produced in its entirety by Ash and Samar. Special thank you to our game master Toffee and to you, our listener. Subscriptions and DMs are welcome at No Ginger Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, or wherever social media is found. Send us your No Gingers via DM or to nogingerpodcast@gmail.com. If you've got a problem,
We'll put it on the podcast.
Bye.
Peace.